Hello everyone, today I'm going to be doing another video to Paul Salidino's What I Eat in a Day, October 2024. And this was uploaded, the original video was uploaded yesterday, so it's right for the picking. And I know I just did a Paul Saladino video, but I wasn't planning on this one, and then he uploaded it. And the reason that I'm doing this, like, you get a lot of Paul Saladino, fanboys coming over, is because he has an anti-vegan channel. He digs on vegans all the time, and I just don't understand. And he is causing animal abuse, and he's causing harm to humanity with his diet choices. So let's just take a look about what he eats in a day. I'm just going to talk about what he eats in a day for the most part. So let's get it started.
I basically still eat an animal-based diet. It's meat, it's organs, it's fruit, it's honey, it's raw dairy.
Okay, this doesn't sound good. So he's eating animal carcass and the organs, and then he's eating bee vomit and bee spit, and then he's eating raw bovine secretions, or in some cases in this video it's going to be goat secretions, but it is raw, which means he is putting himself at risk for bovine tuberculosis, and this is not going to be good, is it?
The first thing I do in the morning is go outside, touch the earth with my bare feet, do some grounding, do some stretching, get the sunlight in my eyes, and then basically within half an hour of waking up, I'll have my first pre-surf mini meal, which is raw goat's milk from a local farm. I've actually been to this farm. They're incredible people. I've milked the goats there. I've seen the goats. They take really great care of their goats. So I have raw goat milk from the farm. I add some glyphosate-free honey, and I add about 5 grams of creatine. I might have a little bit of watermelon juice before I go surf, but that is pretty much it. I'm in the car and I'm in the ocean. I try to be in the ocean by 6 a.m. I'll surf for a couple hours, and then I come back and eat breakfast.
Okay, I do agree with him on this thing about getting sunlight into your eyes in the morning, so your brain and your body knows that it is time to wake up and do things. I do that whenever the sun comes up because I get up at 5 in the morning. And I don't understand putting your feet on bare ground. I think it would feel good on sand though, but I don't understand that too much. And then he talks about his pre-surf meal, and it is raw goat secretion, bee vomit and bee spit, and then some watermelon juice. First of all, goats, just like cows and people, can get tuberculosis. I just looked this up. So because it's raw, he is putting himself and the people that watch him, because people are going to emulate him, at risk for goat tuberculosis. I don't know if that's the correct word, but goats can get tuberculosis. And you are putting people at risk for that. So that'll be great when your followers and your viewers get bovine tuberculosis. And then bee vomit and bee spit. I talked about it in the last video about with him. I'm not going to get too much into it, but he just loves the bee vomit and the bee spit for some reason. I don't understand. There's other sweeteners that you can use, like date syrup and agave and coconut sugar for sugar, regular sugar depending on what you're doing. But for some reason he loves the bee vomit and the bee spit. And then he said something really, really disturbing. He says, he was talking about where he gets his goat secretions, and he said that he, knows the farmers, knows the goats, knows the farmers, they're nice people, but how nice can they be if they're exploiting animals? And he knows them, so basically it's okay to exploit them if you know them. That doesn't make it right, Paul, okay? So let's get on with this train wreck.
After I get home from surfing, hopefully I caught a few waves. I'll make scrambled eggs, avocado, mango slices, and some watermelon juice, which I make myself. But there's a secret to the scrambled eggs. So I've been trying to perfect the scrambled eggs. Maybe you'll disagree with my methods. But what I do is this. I separate the yolks and the whites. I add salt to the whites before I scramble them. I scramble just the whites slowly, taking them off the heat to scramble, then putting them back. I'm trying to get the whites as fluffy as possible. And then I take the raw yolks, and I know this is controversial. I take the raw yolks and I add those to the scrambled whites at the end, because I'd probably rather just not cook the yolks or undercook the yolks. When I make hard-boiled eggs, I like the yolks runny. I just like runny eggs. So I thought, why not just add the yolks at the end and not really overcook them? So it looks different than regular scrambled eggs, but it tastes amazing, and the yolks are basically raw.
Okay, so of course the eggs had to make an appearance, and this is disturbing for a number of reasons. Eggs are high in cholesterol, and they're not good for you. And also, he's talking about eating part of the egg raw, which you can get salmonella from it. That's why they tell you not to eat raw cookie dough and raw this and raw that and put it in the refrigerator and then eat it, things like that with raw egg in it, because you can get salmonella. So within a really short time, he is putting himself and his viewers at risk for salmonella and tuberculosis. And he has to have some fruit, to counteract all the crap that he eats. And the only thing that sounds really good to me is the fruit and the watermelon juice. So one of these days, he is going to get either salmonella and or some type of tuberculosis. It's so irresponsible.
So grass-fed, grass-finished skirt steak, regeneratively raised, local butcher. I've got some Parmigiano Reggiano cheese, about 100 grams. I am going to do some fresh squeezed orange juice. I get all of my produce from farmers markets here. It's all organic, or so they tell me.
Okay, we're already at lunch and he's eaten no vegetables in the entire day yet. And health organizations say that people need 2.5 cups of fruit, which he probably 2 cups of fruit, which he probably got in what he's been eating. But then we need 2.5 cups of vegetables, which he is not getting. He hasn't gotten yet, in order to be healthy. And he thinks, I thought it was a joke when Vegan Gains talked about it. He thinks that vegetables are toxic when he is eating, dead, rotten carcass and then solidified bovine secretions and bee vomit and bee spit. This is a medical doctor, and he is showing his viewers that he doesn't eat vegetables. That is disturbing. I don't know what kind of doctor he is, but he wasn't like Sean Baker where he got his medical license revoked. He is still a doctor. I don't know what kind of doctor he is, but he is advocating for people not to eat vegetables, which is disturbing. Oh God! And then we have to go to dinner. Oh my gosh!
Okay, dinner time. It started to rain in Costa Rica, which happens this time of the year. I've got some grass-fed ground beef. Ground beef is amazing. It has a lot of collagenous parts of the animal in it, a lot of the stuff that's a little tougher, and it's super affordable. So I like ground beef for collagen, and I like it because it's affordable. Again, grass-fed, grass-finished ground beef that I actually got at a farmer's market here. I've got some raw liver, and I just do it raw. I freeze it before. I trust the butcher, and I trust that the liver is high quality. There's always a risk to eating anything raw, whether it's raw milk or raw organs, but I've never gotten sick from eating raw liver, knock on wood. I've got some dragon fruit. That stuff is amazing. It's much more available here in the tropics, and it's delicious. And I've got some more watermelon juice and raw milk with honey.
Okay, so he admits there is something wrong with eating eggs and milk raw. But he says since he's never had a problem, it's fine. And he is showing this to his viewers on YouTube. And he is going to get sued one day because someone is going to do this and get some type of horrendous disease. And he is using his doctor title as some type of authority. And this is so dangerous. He, throughout this video, he is putting, and throughout his days of eating, he's putting himself at risk for tuberculosis, salmonella, cancer, stroke, heart attack, and he said that, he had two different types of carcass there. He had the liver of a bovine, it's probably a baby cow liver, and then chopped up cow. But he says that ground cow is affordable, and he even shouted out the animal murderer, which is disturbing. But there is a dish in Costa Rica called gallo pinto, which is like vegetables, a little bit of veggie, like maybe it might be salsa, veggies, rice, and beans. When I was there for my study abroad program, and I was not vegan at the time, I wasn't even vegetarian. We ate that every night, and it was really good. Um, and you'll get the precious protein that he thinks vegans can't get enough of, even though Vegan Gains has schooled you on that fact. And he's putting himself and his viewers at risk for several different diseases. And I know people are going to say, like, oh, why didn't you cut out all the blah, 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 blah. Listen, my computer shut down for some strange reason out of nowhere. I thought I lost the footage. I need to get this out. Um, I just want to focus on the food, and I don't want the video to be a year long. So I'm just focusing on the food. So I will see you all in the next video. I don't know what that will be. I always say hinge herbivore video, but yeah, maybe a hinge herbivore video. I don't know. So I will see you on the next video. Bye, guys.